Hey, you're watching Hit the Switch, and we're sitting down today with the new game from Wadjet Eye Games, the Blackwell Deception. I'm a really big fan of the Blackwell series of games. This is the fourth one, but you've never seen them before, right?
I'm coming into this pretty much entirely blind.
Yeah, so you've not played one of these games before.
I'm digging the noir music here, though.
Yeah, that's kind of a trademark of the Blackwell games.
My first impressions of this is that it's the Maltese Falcon crossed with Ghostbusters. Just from that picture.
That's actually a pretty solid thing. Alright, we're going to jump straight in.
This is the demo, so we're pretty much just going to play all of it so you get an idea of what the game is going to be like.
Yeah, it's retailing, I think, for $15 through wadjeteyegames.com.
We'll have a link to that in the video description.
Yeah, it's not on Steam or Desera or Green Man Gaming or anything, so if you do want it, just go straight to the developer's webpage. So yeah, let's just jump straight in. Having played this a little bit, I have to say it's a little bit full on and doesn't really explain much.
Yeah. Well, I'm just curious. Originally,
I can't take you anywhere.
Shut up. I'm wet, I'm filthy,
okay.
and I'm in New Jersey.
Relax, will ya? We saved another one. Score another point for us.
Yeah, that yacht is completely totaled.
The $2 million as well.
We are so not getting paid.
Not one lead cent.
Well, the dialogue there, not so noir.
No, I mean, it's modern day.
No, yeah, totally, but it's a funny contrast between
Yeah.
the setting and the style, and then that sort of like the dialogue there.
I mean, the main character, Rosangela Blackwell, is a modern day writer.
Right.
And her...
Digging the music, though.
Yeah, and her spirit companion, a guy called Joey, is from like the 1920s.
Okay, alright, so it's that contrast there they're going for.
So
That's pretty interesting.
He has this sort of very noirish vibe to him.
They put out a soundtrack for this?
Yep, they put out a soundtrack for everything.
I'm totally getting that.
But yeah, a kind of a noir thing is something Wadjet Eye Games do a lot. They did a really noir-esque take on The Wizard of Oz, actually.
Crashed
Oh, wow.
into the New Jersey City dock wall. Fortunately, nobody was injured.
Who'd be calling me now? Joey, could you,
Right.
hello?
Hi, is this Rosangela?
Yes, who's this?
It's been a while. This is Jeremy Sams.
Jeremy? Oh, Jeremy, yeah. Are you still at the Village Eye?
Oh, God, no. I left there a year ago. I work at the City Post now.
Really? That's a big step up. Congratulations.
Thanks.
So it's done quite a lot of voice acting for this.
Yep.
Me?
Which for an indie game, I think is...
Something really bad. I need
relatively
to follow up on
unusual.
some interviews and the window is closing.
But this kind of game needs it.
Oh, totally, yeah.
And you can share the byline.
Well, tell me what it is first.
Awesome. Come on over and we'll chat. Thanks a mil, Rosangela.
So, we're moonlighting as reporters now?
I used to work with Jeremy. He's okay, and the extra money won't hurt. The City Post is a pretty important paper. Maybe they'll want a spiritual news column.
I doubt it.
So yeah, now we're into the game. I have to say, this game is kind of just dumping you in there. It doesn't really...
I mean, do you get an idea that this demo is just the beginning of the game?
I'm pretty sure this is like the beginning of the game.
Okay.
But like all that stuff with the yacht and the $2 million is not from a previous game.
Okay, so that's probably something you find out about more as you...
Yeah, I guess so. But
Probably
it's,
some,
it's kind of strange
exposition there.
to be put in the dark about what the characters have been through, especially when you spend so much time with them.
Okay, right, yeah, so...
And it doesn't actually explain what Rosangela is, which is kind of weird. Like, this game is very much for people that have played the previous 3 Blackwell games. It doesn't really take too much time to go, hey, if you've not played one of these before, here's what's going on.
Yeah. Alright, so, I mean, we're just in your house now. You've got... It's pretty much a point and click. You can go around, you can click on items there. I see some of them have...
So it's just
little labels.
It's fairly simple, just like
I used
right-click,
to stare into
examine.
that thing for hours.
Okay, so,
Still do
a little bit of Sam
sometimes.
and Max kind of style.
Yeah, it's a classic point-and-click adventure game.
Yeah.
So for people that want that kind of thing, it's exactly what you need. A couple of new innovations, well not innovations, but a couple of tweaks from previous games before. A lot of internet research was done, which meant you had to come back and run to this computer.
I don't have time to do any writing. And if I need to use the internet, I've got my phone.
Huh.
So now you have a smartphone. So you can just do everything you
My
need
phone.
to. Yeah, it's, it's not the best I don't think Apple will be stealing this interface anytime soon, but it's
No.
perfectly serviceable. You've got your email, which has a whole bunch of stuff from.
So I see what you mean. They really are just sort of throwing you right into the mixer here.
Like everything in this is entirely like little throwbacks and Easter eggs from previous games. Like you get an email from Susan Lee, who is from an earlier game, and again, this is a reference to the last game that happened. You've also got a web search, which, for an easy Easter egg, this is the guy that made the game.
Huh, so...
You know, you can search
like
him,
how...
He's put a little joke in
like
about
what happens if you
himself.
just search, like, dogs?
It'll probably come up with nothing.
Okay, so it does have a very specific...
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So
I just know that one's worked because
Right.
the maker of the game, Dave Gilbert, has put an Easter egg about himself in pretty much every game of his I've played.
Okay. Alright, so we're gonna go say hi to this guy at the newspaper or something?
Yep, go see Jeremy to find out what's up with him.
Alright. So see how the travel... So you're kind of picking locations to
Yeah.
go to? Alright.
I have to say, this system, not as nice as the old one.
What happened? What was...
You had sort of like a big overview map and you clicked on locations. This way, I guess it's a little bit easier to make.
a little bit easier to maybe know where you're exactly going.
It's just not quite as nice.
Yeah. Feels like it's maybe holding your hand a bit too much there.
Come on in. I'll be out in a sec.
As far as you can tell, are most of the environments are these interior environments, or is there some exterior stuff?
There's some exterior stuff, we'll get to that in a minute.
Live
Okay.
nowadays?
Sorry about that. I haven't been feeling well, as I said. Who's your friend? Is something wrong?
So we got some dialogue choices there. This is actually...
So yeah, here's of course the most tactless thing you could say to a dead guy.
It's a little bit of Sixth Sense here.
Very much so, yeah. So what's your impression of what these characters are at the moment? Like Rosangela and Joey, what do you think they do?
Well, I mean, obviously, just judging by the presentation of the game, you get a very noir feeling, definitely from the...
Yeah, but what do you think, like, the games have been about? What would you say your goal in this game is?
I mean, given that it's noir detectiving stuff, you know, PI kind of stuff.
Yeah, because this is kind of my point. It doesn't do a very good job of setting up what the characters are. But again, you know, you're kind of meant to have played the earlier ones, and if you're going to play this,
Yeah.
there's no excuse not to play the earlier games.
Okay.
But yeah, Rosangela and Joey are sort of paranormal detectives who sort of go around helping ghosts pass on to the next world.
Okay, alright, so it's definitely, you know, not quite a specific occupation there for them. It's not a... I mean, it's... You think, like, a lot of these noir games, it's general detective. Even if it's Sam and Max, they're still basically a detective agency. It's not... This is very specific. They're helping ghosts doing them.
Yeah, so let's just pretend nothing's wrong, see what happens.
Jeremy, it's good to see you. You look great.
Hardly. I feel like death. I just caught a nasty bug or something. Horrible timing.
Wow.
I'm on the verge of something really big. That's why I need your help.
You need our help, all right.
Sorry, but who are you?
I'm with her.
This is Joey. He's kind of my assistant.
An assistant?
Yeah, the other thing is,
You've definitely come a long way
only
since the
dead
village eye.
people and
You
Rosa
could say that.
can see Joey.
Nice to meet you, Joey.
So it's Sixth Sense. I mean, is Rosa basically the only person who can see ghosts?
Rosa can see dead people,
Right.
yes.
Okay.
That's entirely it.
So, I mean, there's a lot of sort of dialogue choice here. Is that really affecting the story, or is it more just sort of getting
It's
different reactions?
a linear story, as
Okay.
far as I can tell. The other ones have all been linear. I'm going to assume this one's the same.
Okay.
It's just, you know, personal choices, just like...
how you like your character to
Yeah.
be. A little bit of personalization there.
All right, Jeremy, tell me about this article of yours.
Brilliant. I knew you wouldn't let me down. Do you know where the City Post news office is?
I think so.
This flu is making it hard to remember everything, but I kept pretty good notes. Just go up there and tell them I sent you. My notebook is on my desk. I'd go myself, but I'm not exactly up to snuff.
Snuff is the word.
Joey!
What?
So what do you say? Will you help me?
Yes, of course I'll help. It's what I do.
So yeah, I mean, there are no choices about that kind of thing. It's just
Yeah.
that.
All right. So, like,
Well, I better get going.
Thanks. I
Sit there,
really
just,
appreciate this.
consult your notes.
Yeah, I'll get to that in a second.
All
You
right.
can call me Rosa.
All right, Rosa, it is then.
So yeah, we can have a look at these
Oh my
pile of
God.
photographs.
Is that me? I mean, us?
Yeah. You remember the '05 Christmas party?
I really like. Is there
Yeah,
a
that was a while ago.
this visual style?
Going through
I mean,
some old
it's
pictures when I
there's a
came
contrast
across
between
yours. That's
the
why I thought to call.
close up, like in here in this
I
picture,
see.
and with the
Mhm.
little characters, and then the overall sort of much more 8-bit
It's
kind of
Jeremy.
8-bit
Back
world
in
style.
Not 8-bit, but yeah, it's got a very
Don't even
retro
remember
throwback
where this
style.
picture
Yeah.
taken.
I mean, this reminds me a bit of
What a horrible.
trying to think of some of those games, like the game kind of educational games you used to get.
Edutainment.
Yeah, edutainment kind of this
I
visual
guess
style.
maybe not. It's just very much a throwback to, the old Broken Sword, Monkey Island.
Yeah, totally. That the cartoony characters, but then the sort of slightly more retro world. I mean, obviously it's not really 8-bit, but it's
16-bit, let's go for
16-bit,
32-bit, let's call it.
Okay, so-
yeah, you asked about the notes, which are basically...
switch to... Oh, we'll get on to that in
Yeah,
a second.
we'll get onto that one in a second, but you can use your notes that you take to ask characters about certain things.
A little bit of LA Noir there.
Yeah, I guess, but much before LA Noir.
Sure.
Before you go, I just want to, well, apologize. I know it's a bit weird calling you up and asking you such a big favor like this.
Don't worry about it.
Well, when I'm over this flu, I'll make it up to you. I promise.
No, you don't have to do that. Really. Just take care of yourself.
Well, that was unexpected.
Yeah, I suppose.
You know where that newspaper office is?
Yeah.
Then let's hop to it.
Yeah, jump straight over there. So at the beginning, it's a fairly linear progression of things,
Could I help you?
Yeah.
but we're about to really hit our first roadblock.
Okay.
I was told you'd be expecting me. My name is Rosangela Blackwell. Sorry, I wasn't told anything. Really? I need to go inside and pick up some notes.
Sorry, but if you don't have permission to be here, I can't let you in.
Suppose that Jeremy can't actually interact with the rest of the people, so...
Yeah, the only person he seems to be able to interact with is Rosangela because, as I said before, she can see dead people.
Okay.
I really do need to see Jeremy's notes. Maybe you could get them for me?
No, I can't.
So maybe you have to explore the
What do you
environment
know
here.
about Jeremy Sanders?
Well, we've got to get out of this conversation
Jeremy?
first.
He
Okay.
works here. His office is just up there on the second floor, but I haven't seen him in a few days.
So you don't know where he is now?
I have no idea. If you'd like to leave him a message, I'll let him know you stopped by.
Do you know anything about Jeremy's death?
Huh?
Jeremy's death. I'm kind of looking into it.
Jeremy's dead? Are you serious?
You mean you don't know?
Of course not. What happened to him?
I'm not sure.
What do you mean you're not sure? How did he die? What happened?
I don't know.
Where is he now?
I don't know. Right.
This is sick. I think you should get out of here before I call security.
Something that I've
That's my
noticed
girl, making
about this
friends
game
wherever
more
she
than the
goes.
others is that Rosangela kind of
I'll be
puts her
going, I
foot in
guess.
it a lot more,
Right.
and specifically to the point of implicating her as the murderer.
Okay. Now, I noticed that, I mean, like, you had to pretty much go through all those dialogue choices
did.
before you could get out of the
That's
conversation.
unusual.
Oh, I see. So this
So,
is
yeah.
why you'd want to switch to...
So you can switch over to Joey.
And she can't see Joey.
He can just float straight up.
Aha. I see.
So there are Jeremy's notes right there.
I wish I could, but I can't pick it up.
Right.
So while Joey can get up there, he can't actually interact with any of it.
Wait, you can look at it, maybe? Yeah. No.
It's the notebook that Jeremy
That's
asked
all he
us
can
to
do. I mean,
find.
it's closed.
It's closed right now. I can't read what's inside.
Yeah. All right. So,
But however, there is a post-it note up here.
aha.
So we do have a new location.
Yeah.
So we can just...
So that means they definitely got some interesting, sort of very unique gameplay mechanics.
Yep.
Compared to other similar titles.
Switching back and forth came in, I think, in the second game.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's really kind of defined the series now.
Sure. So what? I mean, I have no idea. What is this a? How many games have there been?
This is the fourth.
The fourth game. Okay.
Yeah. There was Legacy, Blackwell Legacy, Blackwell Unbound, and Blackwell Convergence, and
Okay.
this is Deception. And they've gotten slightly bigger in ambition and
Oh,
just
no.
length every single time. So this is the longest one yet.
Okay.
So yeah, this is the Highline, which was on Highline Park, which was on Jeremy's desk as a note.
Yep.
Excuse me, officer?
It's Detective Durkin. And you shouldn't be up here at this hour.
So yeah, again, very...
Not much of a park.
Yeah, I guess, but very old school noir-y
Yeah,
detective.
totally, very, very much, yeah.
Long trench coats, smoking.
Yeah.
Did something happen here?
No, I'm doing street art. Of course something happened. You should run along home. You don't want the same thing to happen to you.
Someone died, didn't they?
Gee, what tipped you off? Believe me when I say you don't want to be involved.
Could you tell me who it was?
Couldn't, even if I wanted to, because we don't know.
So it's, what do you call it, John Doe?
Yeah, sure, whatever.
What do you call it?
Yeah, forget about it.
I think I know who the victim was.
Well, they were complaining about being in New Jersey earlier.
His name was Jeremy Sams.
Oh, snap, I see what you mean.
You know
Yep,
this?
exactly.
Just do?
Right.
You just do. Yeesh. What is it about parks that brings out all the crazies?
You know, if I was a detective and someone came up and goes, I know who this dead body is by this chalk line, because, you know, I'd be
Yeah.
slightly more
I'm
concerned.
positive the victim is Jeremy. Maybe I can ID the body.
Now, it did say leave there,
wanna
but you pretty
come
much
look
have
at the
to do
body?
this to progress
You know
the
how
plot.
crazy you
I
sound?
had no idea.
do.
Like, this
You
is
come
the
out of
extent to
nowhere
I've played the
and
demo,
say
so
you
Okay.
noticed
after
it by
this,
looking at an
it's
outline
all
on the
new.
pavement?
Alright.
Yeah, sounds crazy. Even if you could ID the guy, it wouldn't hold up.
Alright.
I'm offering information here. Why won't you take it?
You think you're the only crackpot with a theory? We have procedures. We'll release a photograph and then get a proper ID. Now run along.
Right. I'll be back.
It's a free country.
The dialogue's getting much more noir
Wouldn't it be a
at this point.
kick to fly through the skyline? Being tied down to a host is such a drag sometimes.
So yeah, that's the other thing. Joey is kind of tied to Rosangela, so
Right.
he can't go very far away at all.
Right. Okay. So maybe you have to get a photo of this guy?
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, the first things first is to try and get into the city post.
Come on in.
Oh, okay. I mean, my instinct would be to
Make
grab one of
yourself
those photos if you could. And I mean, I imagine there's some kind of inventory system where you pick up items.
There is, if you can see up here, we've got the inventory up here.
Yeah.
At the moment, it's just got a business card in it.
Okay. Maybe you can do a web search?
I got these business cards made up a few months ago. They glow in the dark. It's so cool.
Like, what would happen if you did a search for this guy?
What, Jeremy Sands?
Yeah. I was
Never
interested to
tried
see
it.
how that, see how much, yeah.
Nada.
Yeah, see that. I'm not sure if that's going to be something where it's pretty much going to be a very situational, where they're going to prompt
It
you.
is,
Now you have to do a web search, or
has
it's
it-
more of a
As it's been
discovery.
before, it has just been like, hey, I need to find out some specific information. There doesn't seem to be any other way to do it in the game world. I guess I'll use my computer.
Right. Okay. And rather than just sort of finding out more backstory.
Yeah.
and things. Okay. So, like, could you pick up those
Jeremy?
photographs?
Yes?
We can try that afterwards.
The receptionist at the city post won't let me in.
Really? I called her and told her to expect you. Strange. I'll give her another call after you leave.
Tell him
Except-
he's dead.
I mean,
I mean,
Are you sure there's nothing else wrong with you?
you can't just out and tell a
just the
ghost
flu.
that he's
Nothing
dead.
to worry about. I'll be fine in a few days. I just want to get this article submitted before it's too late.
yeah. So, not really asking him about his death
Well, I
there.
bet-
So, it's definitely
Jeremy?
steering
I
you.
mean, we can try showing you the note system.
Okay.
So yeah, we can talk to
yeah.
him about this.
Did you hear about the murder on the High Line?
The what?
Somebody was killed at the High Line Park very recently.
That's interesting news. But hey, somebody else is going to have to cover it. I'm really sick and I've already got a story to cover.
So, is the idea of ghosts who don't know they're dead a common?
Yeah, no, that is pretty much the bread and butter of the Blackwell series.
Okay. Right. So
Well,
that's
I
a
better
pretty.
get going.
That's not
right.
specific to
Thanks
this.
again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Usually, you're sort of exercising these ghosts at the same time.
So, in this case, you're like helping him finish his final story, so he could.
Yeah, so he can pass on to the next world.
Okay.
Jeremy, could I have this photo?
Ah, there you go. You were right.
You want it?
See, the guy talked about
If it's
photos
okay.
before.
Sure. I've got copies somewhere. Go right ahead.
Thanks.
So now we can go back to that detection.
And
Hey,
incriminate yourself some more.
here's me showing that I know the victim, and here's us getting drunk together. So clearly, crime of passion.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is this the same man you found?
Let me see that. That's him, all right. What did you say his name was?
Jeremy Sams.
Jeremy Sams. And what's your relation to him?
We used to work together.
You know any of his family? Anyone we can notify or speak to?
I know he was a reporter for the City Post.
Right. I'll give him a call. And we're gonna have to follow up with you, too. You got a number?
Here's my card.
Spiritual services, huh? Why do I always end up with the nuts? Anyway, right. Good night. Don't stay up here too long. It ain't safe.
You know, you'd think for a crime scene they might put some tape around it a little bit more.
Well, they already got rid of the body.
Still.
That's just morbid.
Considering I can just... I mean, I can't because there's an invisible wall, but I could, in theory, just walk all over it.
Yeah.
Alright, let's try the City Post again.
So maybe she's been told about his death now.
Yep.
Oh, it's you. I just got off the phone with the police. You were right. Jeremy is really dead. I just saw him 2 days ago. He was always nice to me.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry. About before, I was a complete jerk. Why didn't you say it was murder?
I wasn't sure at the time.
Police seem pretty sure. You said you were investigating his death?
Yes, I wanted to take a look at his desk.
Right. I'll buzz you in. The place is empty. I'm just here holding the phones. Take as much time as you need. Just find whoever did this, okay?
I'll do my best.
Alright, so do you want to keep going with this and see if we can finish the demo, or do you want to call it there?
Let's just go up and look at this guy's notebook, see. I have a feeling this is actually going to be a quite long, relatively long demo.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be the entirety of this sort of first case.
Yeah. So, is it generally is it both investigating how people died and sort of helping them out, or is it...
And there's nearly always a sort of overarching plot.
Okay, so maybe a theme of people getting murdered. Or...
Yeah,
Okay.
like
All right, Jeremy.
in previous
What were you
games
up
there's been
to?
sort of like
Let's see if it was worth getting killed over.
a murderer or something that kind of connects all the
According to
cases.
this, Jeremy interviewed a woman named Penelope Haynes. Looks like Jeremy tried to speak to someone named Penelope Haynes over the phone. A definite connection. Connection to what? It says that Jeremy followed up with someone, and whoever it was tried to scam him.
Left
It
my
says
phone
that Jeremy
there.
followed up with
Interesting.
someone,
Go try and
and
find his
whoever it
phone,
was tried to
possibly.
scam him.
Probably.
Jeremy lost his phone somewhere. I wonder if anyone found it.
And we can
So-
also go and nab this, I think.
The press pass, yeah. Probably look at his computer as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, I gotta say, it's for... Many point-and-click games are really just like
There's nothing
what
on
items
Jeremy's
to
computer
put on
worth
what
looking
other
at.
items.
Yeah.
So this seems like it's definitely a lot more... Relatively more complex than those.
Looks like Jeremy left this on. There's nothing on Jeremy's computer worth looking
Okay,
at.
maybe that
No.
whiteboard?
I don't need the whiteboard. This lists the priority stories that the paper needs to... The topic, yacht crash, is circled and underlined. Wonderful.
So I assume we are going to find a lot more about this. Maybe it's going to be in a series of flashbacks.
Yeah.
I'd say I go pretty cold into these games and try to stay as...
Well, I mean, with any kind of mystery title, it's probably a good idea.
Yeah. Let's see if she's got anything else to say. Yeah, Joe just kind of sits around until you get to move.
Hi.
Okay.
Could I ask you...
I'll do my best. What would you like to know?
Let me ask him about...
Jeremy was killed on the High Line. Do you know why he might go there?
That's the new park on the west side. I have no idea why he'd go there.
So how well did you know Jeremy?
He was nice, I guess. Just one of the faces I saw every day. It's weird to think of him as gone.
Yeah, another thing you can usually do with the notes is combine
Thanks
them
again.
when you have
Sure.
things that you think
Anything I
fit
can do
together,
to help
When they're
this
related,
task?
okay.
and that can lead to more lines of inquiry.
Alright.
I can't see where to combine notes. Oh no, that's
can't-
Jeremy's notebook.
Yeah.
And I'm probably going to watch this video in like when we upload it and kick myself over the fact that I didn't see where the notes were. Unless
Where the notes are. Oh, it's probably right there.
yeah, right in the phone. So yeah, you can combine things.
Jeremy and the High Line are obviously connected somehow.
Right.
So once I've got a few more notes in there, I can connect them about.
Alright.
So we've also got Sam Durkin's number. He's the detective.
Alright, well, that's a pretty good look of the game. It's...
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to go too much further
No.
into it because let's just take her home.
Yeah.
And we'll call it there.
So, yeah, it's a pretty good look at Blackwell Deception. I mean, obviously, if you're already a fan of the series...
I think you kind of need to be.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. I'm actually relatively interested in this from what we've played already. I mean, I don't feel that if you like this kind of genre of game, I think it probably would be interesting to you. Maybe you miss out some of the backstory
I'm not saying that it's like it won't appeal to anyone that hasn't played the early games, but I think you should play the early games.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
I think you should at least play Unbound and Convergence.
Okay.
I mean, just play them all. There is a big bundle pack up on Wadjet Eye Games, so you can just play the earlier ones, and I think you'll get a lot more out of this one.
Yeah. Well, I mean, also the demo is available if you want to find out what happens after this.
Yeah, there is a little bit more to this demo, so even if you just want to have a little free look, there's still a few more twists and turns in this, I'm sure.
Also, smooth jazz.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to go pick up the soundtrack right after this video.
Yeah, the soundtracks for all the games are available. Also, there are a couple other games on Wadjet Eye Games that are very worth looking at. Gemini Rue, which has this fantastic sci-fi noir atmosphere, and Puzzle Bots, which are just sort of more into a pure puzzling game, is really good fun. So yeah, if you're looking for the kind of a revival of the old school point-and-click adventure games that have kind of died off a bit, this is definitely a place to go.
Yeah, totally. I'll probably be checking this out myself.
Alright, so this has been Hit the Switch. We'll be back on Friday.